And we are live. Let me go ahead and share the live. If you guys are on YouTube, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and share this live. If for those of you that want to share it also, please do. From Hungry Barna, welcome. All right, guys. All right. So, Self-Love Sunday. We had to reschedule Sunday. We've been having some interesting connection issues due to the weather, but thankfully everything is resolved and we're able to go live today. So anyway, let's get started. Today, a couple topics that I want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about some important events that are coming up that I want to invite you to. Let me see if I can share my screen. As you know, we are beginning the Chinese New Year, but we're also beginning period 9. And this is the year of the wooden snake. And this Saturday, actually, I am hosting an event called Initiation for Period 9 through our DNA. And we are going to be taking a look at how to activate our DNA in order to be prepared for this kind of transition. And there's really important elements that have to take place. A lot of it has to do with alchemy. A lot of it has to do with how we are moving our energy, our primordial life force. Hold on just a second. Let me move this. How we're moving our primordial life force in order to come into higher states of consciousness. Let's see where I'm going here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's going to be a group hypnosis. And the whole point of this is that we are going deep into the subconscious mind. We are learning to work with the subconscious, being more connected to the higher self and bridging any gaps, any blockages that we have with the higher self. This is extremely important that we do this. Sorry, I was in an interview earlier today, so I'm losing my voice. But we want to merge any kind of fractalization that is occurring in us, in our subconscious mind, as a result of ancestral traumas. So this year is about ending long interdimensional and ancestral karmic belief systems, blockages, emotional patterns, physical patterns that are counter-creative to being in a state of harmony in the physical body. So this is what we're going to be working on this Saturday, January 25th. You guys can join me. The time zones are in PSD, so that's Pacific time. You guys can meet with me. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So you'll see when you're registering your time zone around the world, wherever you are, it'll be available for you. But we're going to do a deep hypnosis. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the main elements of period 9. Talking about artificial intelligence, spiritual sexuality. We're going to be looking at the development of our organic technology, which is what this year is about. We need to develop our organic technology from the inside out. And that is, of course, in the DNA. That is all about the DNA, because it is essentially transmuting all of the old programs into the activation of using your life force in a centripetal manner that creates the force of life force, regenerative systems, mind, body, and soul, that are then projecting into the reality for creation. So we're going to be going deep into the subconscious mind to clear those blockages out and open that ability up for us. So 11 a.m. to 22. Also, I'm going to be doing an event. Let me just open my calendar here. Cosmic Child, I have an inauguration party for that I'm going to post pretty soon. I'm really excited about that. Cosmic Child website is now up and running. So those of you that have children that are looking for solutions to help your children train their interdimensional abilities, train meditation, train self-healing, trauma work, emotional body work, I'm here for you, and we are focusing on that big time this year. So every service that I host for adults is available for children, and also more. We're having like a lot of other kinds of really awesome events. So the inauguration event is going to be next month in February. I will post the invitations for that soon. I'm going to have some guest speakers that are experts in the field of child development, child healing, child psychic development, because we need to understand that the children are the ones that are bringing in their structures of their bodies multidimensionally are somewhat different to ours in the way that they're channeling energy through them. And so we're learning from them, but we're also learning how to communicate and interact with them, which will in return help us in our activation process, evolutionary process, and healing profound ancestral blockages, because the children now are kind of highlighting those ancestral programs that we ourselves are blind to. I mean, this happens every generation. That's what children are. They're a higher octave always than the previous generation to help move forward and clear the integration process of higher octaves of existence. So this is something that is really important. So you can visit Cosmic Child. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., I'm going to be hosting Energy Reading and Healing Clinic. This is something that's new that I'm doing, and essentially it's a clinic where I will be reading your energy body, and we will kind of take a look at where your main blockages are, and we're going to deep dive into that work. So I do have a lot of people registered for that, but you have to be there. So please do make sure that if you register that you are here. Check your time zone. It's at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. PST. Don't worry, there will be other time zones of this event. If you're in the European time zone or another time zone that can't attend this time slot, there will be other clinics. So you will be able to join that. But yeah, so this is important for two reasons. It is going to be a reading from me, but at the same time, I'm also working with you so that you understand what you're seeing in your body. Because a lot of the times, why psychics work with people is why psychics are said to be good is that essentially they're confirming very strong aspects of yourself that you really already know subconsciously. Okay, so that helps promote, hopefully. In the past it's been a codependent imbalanced exchange. Now it's going to promote the connection to your trust in yourself and the development of your own intuitive abilities. So remember, like, your body is fully legible energetically, and it's something that we have to train to be able to read and work with that information. So please join me tomorrow night if you'd like to have a reading and do work with that energy body. That would be fantastic. I'd love to work with you. In other news, we have some other events in February, but we'll talk about that. Portal to Ascension has an amazing event that we're doing with them. Neil Gower invited me to speak on Year of the Snake, going deep into the intricacies of that. And I'll be presenting a deeper, more level of the information. So this weekend is hypnosis and some of the core elements of the information. Some things I might not disclose in this event because they're very deep things and we don't want to get blocked or anything, but I will disclose other things here that are super, super important. So definitely check this out. We will go deep into that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. And so those of you that want to participate in that with me, it is an honor. And let me say hi to everybody in the YouTube. Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Thank you so much for that super chat, Brian. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much. Liza, Jason, Rostislav. So wonderful to see you from London. James, Aquamarine, welcome. Vixen, no, it's not pre-recorded. This is live. Liza, I did the cosmic child represented, not realizing at first that it was for children, but I have to tell you, it was such a beautiful meditation. I really connected with my inner child. I'm so happy. I've actually been getting a lot of messages about that exact thing. So I'm happy to hear that. The work. Does anyone know why the 3D can be so obtrusive and annoying when we are in the process of shifting timelines, having trouble dealing with energies of others, trying not to react? Yeah, actually, this is a hot topic this week, actually. And guess what? It's not necessarily the 3D, it's us in the 3D, right? In a way, we're kind of at war with our own self. And so, as long as we maintain this war with our internal self, with the part of us that has to be reborn, which is different than what we've known, we're going to have some resistance, okay? And that's just the recalibration system of your body. You are a multidimensional system. So when you change, your change can be instantaneous, but you have to support that transformation. You have to change, you have to allow that change to integrate into all the complexities of your life because it involves relationships, and what that means that it involves how you respond to those relationships. It completely depends on your readjustment, your commitment, and your reconnection to what are your new adjustment of your perception of your values. So the deeper and more clear you are of the core values that are deeply important to you, the more easy it will be for you to transition. Okay, so and the path will become clear. Sometimes right now it's fuzzy because we're still not sure. We're not sure what are the core values. We're not sure how to implement them. We're not sure how to embody them. And remember that when we change our emotions, we're changing bioelectrically, biochemically, and this chemical system of our bodies, emotional bodies, that's a very strongly set up system. You know, we're heavily addicted to some of our emotions, like survival. Okay, the entire human race is operating subconsciously in survival. That was the embodiment of the inverted masculine. Okay, over the past several centuries, it was about the suppression of the feminine. It was burning books, burning witches, suppressing sexuality, putting shame and guilt in the occult, making it look as something inverted, as like satanic or negative or manipulative, and, changing the narrative of natural cycles of balance and harmony. So that kind of imbalanced manipulation of life force is something we're all healing from. We're all healing from that. We're all traumatized from that. We're traumatized in our nervous system. We're traumatized psychologically, and we're traumatized in the way that we create, essentially, because our entire creative aspect has been, in a way, targeted, has been kind of suppressed and made an enemy. We had subconsciously programmed that our creative ability is an enemy. So that was necessary because we needed to connect with the masculine. The masculine has to heal. Right now, we are in the process of the revival of the feminine, the reemergence of the feminine. The feminine is the rebuilding of humanity's trust in its own self. And how does that happen? The integration of the higher self with the physical. No longer seeing yourself as separate, no longer seeing yourself as a dualistic being that is black and white or separate from any parts of itself. This process of the healing of the womb, which is our creative abilities, is healing of our intuition, learning to trust, and healing the fear of trusting the intuition. It's healing what we know and surrendering to the unknown, because when we trust our intuition, we really need to surrender, and that trust allows us to bring into the physical the actions that are going to support those intuitive messages. And that can be very scary for some people because um, we want a false sense of security, a false sense of assurance. And in the past, that assurance has led us into very profound limitations of our creation. So that's being blown wide open right now. Period 9 is about coming into infinite potential incrementally. At period 9, essentially, is going to bring humanity into its largest potential incrementally every year. And essentially, this is the first year, this is the launching year where my invitation is that please do the work in order to heal your ancestral traumas, work on cultivating and trusting, especially your intuition, because these intuitive abilities are only going to be more available to you, which can go two ways. You can cause you great distress and feel completely lost and feel like you have no grounding. And so it's extremely important that you learn to ground and be in the present moment with your abilities. One of the things that are really important is that humanity is going through a major transformation in that we are being called and directed to come back to connection with nature and to our real purpose. Our purpose was never to survive in a 9-to-5 job, pay bills, and survive for basic needs. Okay, your home, your food, your family, love, connection. Those are basic aspects that are something that is kind of like it's free and it's available to the human. But in this construct, it's about nothing is free. You have to pay for it. You have to manually work for it in order to get your basic needs met. And the humanity is drunken. It's like inebriated by going into this wild goose chase, pursuing a carrot, of a golden carrot, of luxury and wealth, and the inversion of our core values and basic needs that the human needs in order to come into harmony. So, you fill the human with materialism, both scientific materialism and psychological materialism, emotional materialism, and you separate them from their interdimensional aspect, from their spiritual self, from their higher self, and enslave them in that disconnect. So that disconnect is what enslaves us away from our core potential. So that potential can't come immediately to you because you would go crazy. You would be way too much. We wouldn't be able to integrate it fully. Okay, so right now we have to learn how to integrate incrementally infinite potential in the body. That's what we're doing here on this channel. Number one thing that we're doing is we are learning how to integrate our higher faculties with our physical body. Okay, and that requires us to develop a profound trust, and more importantly, working with the shadow, all the unknown parts of yourself, the parts that you're ashamed of, especially in these first 3 months of this year. Work on your shame, work on your fear, work on your disgust. This is a word that is coming up so much right now. What disgusts you? What repulses you? What do you reject? What do you judge so much? And the judgments that you have, those severe splitting judgments that do not allow you to feel even a little slice of compassion. These are the things that we want to kind of work on because, again, this is the inversion of nature, which has produced these emotions, which are necessary for this beautiful organism of the planet Earth. Remember that when we evolve, the planet Earth is evolving and vice versa. Okay, so we are multidimensional organisms that are deeply interconnected with all systems of this universe. Everyone is evolving, everything, every star, every cell, every molecule, every planet, every universal system is evolving. And so they are going through their lessons in their matters and their constructs. They are all going through their in their material structure and their non-physical composition. They are all going through their evolutionary processes in the same way that we are. So the more we come into harmony with the cycles of moving, the easier these transformations become. Okay, because essentially right now we are walking like this. We're very blinded. We don't really know. We're not familiar with those expansive states of being because we've been in such states of contraction for so long. We've been in such states of, protecting ourselves, fearing. We're waking up from centuries of the churches, religions, talking about sins, talking about, evil, demons, darkness, shadows, entities, attachments, making us feel that we are helpless to those things. Basically, those are things that have way more power because they're interdimensional. Well, you're interdimensional. And so the more we learn that and what that means, you are going to understand that you are the most powerful thing in this construct. So the old thinking is limiting belief systems and disempowerment. Remember levels of consciousness. When you are separate from yourself, from source, from any idea in pure materialism, you're completely disconnected from your core power, essentially. So this year is going to be about healing all of the threads, all of the web-like membrane that reconnects you to the systems required in order for you to embody power. Next year will be a deeper healing of that power. And 7 years from now, it's going to be the embodiment of power, okay, for humanity. And so what I see, and I'll talk about this more, but essentially humanity is going to change in their priorities. And we are no longer going to be the ones working 9-to-5 jobs. There will be artificial intelligence is going to move very quickly, okay? But it's not just artificial intelligence, it's robotics, it's technology, all kinds of technology that has been suppressed for a very, very, very long time. And there are a lot of things that are being changed in this world in order to support those technologies. There are drastic changes in cities around the world that are being made right now in order to make that happen. Okay, so here's the thing. Nothing will really stop those changes, but we need to rapidly understand, mature in our natural technology. Okay, so that when we have these technologies in our hands, we understand how to use them in a harmonious manner that is productive for ourselves and the human race. And our perception has to expand from self-serving survival states of being and acting into what's good for me and my children. Even if you don't have children, you need to understand the impact of every thought you have, emotion, action is affecting the next generations. So this kind of thinking is one that is modeled by advanced civilizations. We eventually have to model that kind of state of being, okay? So essentially, we're going to be focusing a lot on that this year. And whatever programs I'm doing, retreats, we're going to be training that in every way that we can. So today, that being said, let's talk about it. Let me go ahead and open PowerPoint here. Let me get some images for you. Let me see here. Questions. Thank you, Grace Geraldine. That makes sense. This week has been intense. GPAC, I remember now. You make it all seem so effortless. Appreciate you. Much love. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. Howdy, Geraldine and friends, chatters. I call it survival beast mode. Our little me or false self-ego gets possessed by basic survival under loose, strict, archonic rule. Awakened state is sad. Unawakened state is sad. Well, it's okay. It's part of, again, we have to understand, like, we need both of them. And even if we reach a super high level octave of existence and consciousness, there's always going to be contrast in this dimensional plane. Okay, so as long as you are conscious and aware in this dimensional incarnation, you will, your experience here is to experience contrast on some form and level. Okay, so so that's okay. We need that. We need people that are asleep as much as they are awake, because this is how we are moving through this evolutionary cycle and how things are coming together. But you know, it's your choice. You have a free will. You can choose. Maria says, can you explain how to ground ourselves without actually stepping on the earth? Ground devices for, yes, I can. Brian says, I'm having nightmares about not being able to get out various locations. Have you ever come across this? I can't run very well in my dreams, and I start off in familiar environments and they change. Okay, so subconsciously, this kind of dream state, hold on, my bandwidth is dropping, guys, bear with me. This kind of dream state is essentially working with deep programs of control, the way that we feel about control. I'm going to answer this question first, and I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, so how we feel about how in control we are of our lives and the experiences that we have in our lives. So we need to heal our relationship with control. What does it mean to have control? And at the same time, the other side of that is, are you willing to take responsibility? Because those two energies go hand in hand. A lot of times why we have wounding around control and we feel helpless and powerless is because we're afraid of our own power. We're afraid of our own responsibility. We're afraid of taking responsibility for our, you know, power, our abilities, the results of our actions, the cause and effect of things. Okay, so it's really important to understand that, and that has to be healed. So my invitation is, now understand that whatever dreams we're having, they are always speaking to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is communicating with us, telling us something that we need to pay attention. Okay, so anytime we have dreams where we can't run or we're stuck, we need to take a look at the subconscious relationship that we have with the control of our bodies, of our environment. This also means that we need to reconnect back with our body more. We need to ground, which takes it to the next topic. We need to not be afraid of what we feel, not be afraid of what we think, not be afraid and at war with our authentic self. Okay, not be afraid of our shadow. So these are the things that we are essentially, we are controlled by when we don't have any connection to those things. So deep reconnection, sitting, connecting with that part of us, healing our judgment to those things, expanding our perception of those things is what will assist you. And then another more practical thing is that before you go to bed, be very, very intentional about your dream state. Allow yourself to come into the present moment. GPAC before a dream state is really helpful. Clear your energetic bubble every night before you go to sleep. You remember that when you are unconscious, and I don't know how many of you remember yourself today. I don't know how many of you were conscious yesterday. How many of you were just going with the flow and don't even remember what you had for lunch or what you said in the conversation you had yesterday? Those are all things that you should remember, because memory is part of your bioelectrical nervous system. And any blind spots, any disconnects to your body and your emotions is creating a disconnect to your consciousness and your higher access of yourself. Okay, so we need to reconnect these systems every moment. So ground yourself, be fully in your body. So let's talk about grounding. Let me open PowerPoint. Thank you for your amazing questions, by the way. If you guys have questions, please feel free to ask them. Write them in capital letters so that I can see them, because sometimes it's hard to see. All right, so let's talk about grounding. What are we talking about when we talk about grounding? Let me actually show you this. What is actual grounding? Okay. When we talk about grounding, we're talking about bear with me here. Okay, sorry guys, I don't know how to do that. When we're talking about grounding, we're talking about a couple things. When we come into alignment with the planet Earth, we are coming into alignment with the alpha state, brainwave state. Every single planet in the solar system has a different vibrational frequency. Whichever one of your chakras is overactive is dictating your frequency. Okay. And usually when we're unconscious, that means that we don't remember ourselves. We're not fully in the present moment. Those chakras will take over, and they will take precedence over the connection to the earth. Now, why is this a problem? The planet Earth is like your mother. It is the source of your life force. Okay, when you connect to the planet Earth, you are deeply connected to all of the energies of the Earth. And what does that mean? The information that is being processed through the planet Earth. Let me see if I can find that. So what happens is that our disconnect to the planet Earth, remember that the planets, they're like antennas, just like your physical body is absorbing information 360 degrees all around you all the time. We are absorbing information from through all of our senses, through our skin, through our energetic field. Every single part of your body is absorbing and processing information. It's also responsible for emitting information and inputting into the system. We emit a vibrational frequency, and the planet Earth is essentially oscillating at one frequency. When we are deeply disconnected from the frequency of the Earth, we essentially are kind of blinded to very important information, because the planet Earth is hosting the DNA of the Earth, which is the Akashic records. Okay, so the Earth has Earth DNA. Earth DNA is essentially the Akashic records, which is the memory of your ancestry. It's the memory of your past lives. It's the memory of your future aspects of yourself. Why is it important for us to connect to that? Because that is what allows you to recognize the patterns that you're repeating in your life. So parasitic patterns, positive patterns, just like wisdom is passed down through generations, trauma is passed down through generations. If you are completely unconscious, all you're doing is barely repeating the lower frequency that your body is processing. So if you're in a state of survival and fear, then chances are your lower chakras are the ones that are mostly overactive. Okay, so the overactivity of your lower chakras, essentially, they are creating a frequency in your body that align you with that. And your body is out of harmony. It is mostly centrifugal. The energy is mostly depleting outwardly in your body. Okay, So your cord to your source is very thin, very disconnected. Disconnected meaning that when you are not aware of your connection to source, when you are not intentionally embodying your higher self, integrating your higher self into your everyday moment experiences, you are disconnecting from your greater creative potential. You're also out of free will. You are not in a state of free will. You're only at cause. Um, uh, in effect. You're in effect with the things that are around you. Everything affects you. People's emotions, people, what they say, what they do, what you hear, what you see. You're just constantly like a candle in the wind, flickering your energy, depleting your energy left and right. Sexual energy, emotional energy, you know, and your brain potential is very limited because there's a disconnect between mind and body. When there's a connection between mind and body, we actually are able to utilize more of that creative potential. Another thing that happens is that our DNA begins to coil up, come out of harmony. Okay, so every time that you come into harmony with yourself, you come into a state of peace, especially peace. Okay, if you bring yourself into a state of peace from any state that you're in, you immediately bring yourself into peace. You begin to change the architecture of your DNA, the expression of your DNA. This is really powerful because then your DNA can process information in a way that is more harmonious, more complete. It expresses all of its expressions. That means a healthier immune system, a more regulated nervous system, and that means your emotional system. That is your creative system. You create with your emotions. Every emotion that you feel is creating your reality. And the emotions that you're feeling are your subconscious emotions. Okay, so when we talk about grounding, we want to connect with the earth, because the earth is the DNA. It is your morphogenetic field. Your morphogenetic field allows you to anchor higher bands of frequency into and through your body into the planet Earth. So if you're disconnected, you're kind of like a little a leaf of a tree that has dried up and is no longer taking water from the tree. Eventually, if you continue down the path of not absorbing the water from the tree that the tree is providing you, the nutrients that the tree is providing you, you're going to shrivel up and die. You will dry. So in that same way, the human body comes out into a centrifugal way of depleting the life force, because there is no connection between intention and action, emotions, intentions, and actions. When those become integrated, the human body begins to regenerate its own body rather than deplete its energy. The regeneration is changing that depletion energy into creative energy through the heart, our heart. We alchemize all the depletions into self-regenerated systems. So when you are searching outside for pleasure, searching outside for love, for companionship, for connection, for your mother or your father, you're depleting your energy. When you become your mother and father, when you love yourself, when you begin to meet your needs, when you begin to attend to yourself in the present moment by remembering yourself, you change immediately the flows of life force through your body. So to ground into the center of the earth simply means to come into this centripetal state. And this happens when you go into nature. When you go into nature, your body begins to align with the natural circadian rhythms of the planet. It begins to align with the natural flow of life force that is available abundantly around you, through you at all times. The 5 elements provide that flow of energy through the organs, the internal organs. We've talked about this. So the internal organs begin to readjust, they come back into harmony. And you might have noticed this, that when you if you're sick or if you're not feeling well and you go into nature, you just, just simply on a little walk in nature, you're all of a sudden your muscles start to relax, your digestive system starts to come back into state. The stress and the anxiety that you're feeling just immediately start to readjust inside your internal organs. You can breathe better. Your heart rate goes into a more coherent state. All of these things are because you are aligning with the abundantly, naturally structured energies that are available to you in nature. You can create that by using your intention in the present moment. When you ground yourself, means you come fully into your body. You are present in your body. You're feeling your feet, your knees, your legs, your waist, your chest, your back. You are fully in your body and you are aware, you are observing. You immediately change these pathways of energy. So when you're out of harmony, these little arrows that are pointing to the natural cycles of energy through your body, they sometimes become blocked, sometimes they become stagnant, some of them are non-existent. We have illnesses, we have diseases, strong emotions that block life force from moving fluidly through this cycle. That is the blocking of your life force. How does your multidimensional body look when you have these out of balance? You have all kinds of blockages in your field. Okay, so essentially, life force is moving through your body. All of these points these points where they meet, every single point that's being met here by these pathways of life force become blocked. So the human body has to release that, and you can do that by coming into the present moment, into the 0 point. The 0 point is a state of observation, observing yourself, observing your emotions, and allowing yourself to be fully in the body. Most of the time, we don't want to be in the physical body. We're outside. We don't want to feel what we're feeling. We don't want to acknowledge our emotions. We want to suppress what we really feel. And we some of us spend an entire lifetime in that state. The invitation is come into the present moment, feel your emotion, come into harmony with your body, come fully into your body, feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling sick, feel the sick. What is the sick trying to tell you? What is it communicating to you? The problem is that whatever we learned as a child, whether we weren't heard, we weren't seen, we weren't acknowledged, we've learned how to do that with ourselves. That is all the self-hating programs that we are carrying through many generations. That's what has to change, and it has to change immediately. So if you have a history of people not listening or communicating in a way that is harmonious with themselves or with others, you know immediately this has to change. I need to listen. Okay, simply listen. And whatever information comes up, to learn how to integrate that. How do you integrate it? Is that you remove from judgment into a broader perception. So judgment is a very myopic state of being, both physically, energetically, emotionally. And so we can change that by coming into a state of the 0 point. Okay. What will also happen is that your body will begin to spin faster. Okay. So when you're fully in the body, when you come into the body and you are in the present moment. So right now, all of you that are here on the call, you are connected to your feet, how your feet feel, to your knees, to your thighs, your hips, your back of your body, your front of your body, your head, your face, your arms, the palms of your hand. And then you can begin to feel the clothes on your body. To be able to shift your attention from external stimulation to what's happening in and around your immediate body. This is how you come into your body, and you are in your body. So now, once you have trained yourself to develop that, it just becomes natural, right? You're used to being in your body. At first, it's going to feel like a lot of work because you're not, that'll show you how disconnected you are from your body. Being disconnected from your body means that you're completely vulnerable. You are in effect to all the things that are external to you. Okay? So somebody has a bad mood, they come around you, they start dumping their stuff on you, and you're like, okay, yes, I will stay here, listen, absorb all that stuff. It's going to come into my body. Because I have no sense of awareness of myself, then I just go ahead and take everything into my body, right? And so what happens is we have all kinds of blockages. It's just like that video where the black energy is, it's like it um, it moves from one person to another wherever the negative person goes. That's completely real in your energetic body, okay? For a person that is sleeping, okay? So if you're sleeping, yeah, you're like a sponge. We inherently function like sponges. The planet Earth also functions in that way, okay? And remember that the level of consciousness that we hold collectively is the level of consciousness of the Earth, okay, as well. It's the evolutionary cycle that the Earth is currently in. So as we begin to learn how to hold our space, that's why I ask you guys to have a bubble around your body. The bubble is not just an imaginary bubble. It's you being aware of your energetic body. Your energetic body looks like spheres within spheres. Okay, so this is the entire energetic body. It looks just like this. There's many layers of it, layers and layers that expand out into universes, just like this. You are, wherever this is, wherever you are, that is the center of your universe. How you connect to different layers of this field will depend on your DNA. Your DNA is essentially being expressed holographically into this field. When we ground, we want to connect to the earth energetically. So you're going to visualize that you have a grounding cord, an energetic cord that connects your body all the way down to the center of the earth. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Imagine what the center of the earth looks like. It could look like a fire, like a solid ball, like a crystal, like an ocean, anything that's real to you. Imagine what you would use to connect yourself to it. You could use a rope, a tree trunk, a bungee cord, whatever is real for you. Use this grounding cord to connect your whole abdominal area from the bottom of your sternum to the top of your pelvis, side to side, front to back, and the center of the earth. Notice how your body feels as you remain connected to the center of the earth. Grounding has nothing to do with your legs or your feet. You can also ground a room or a space. Grounding allows you to naturally balance the electrical charges in your body. As presence becomes a daily habit, the G in your bracelet, so this is for people that take my G-Pack course, but that's why I have these bracelets with G-Pack on it. But the G in the bracelet will serve as a gentle reminder to be fully present in your body. More self-awareness is equal to the creative, infinite life force and potential that flows through you. The benefits of grounding are that it brings your brain into alpha state. It relieves stress. This is really important because when you are balancing positive and negative charges inside of your body, it immediately releases the tension that you're holding. So it'll feel like less static. When you're stressed out, your energy is contracted. It's very suppressed and very, high stress. But as you ground, your body begins to release all of those, balance out the positive and negative charges to align with the earth, which is a much greater body of balance than you are. So we are adapting the harmonious structure of divine symmetry that the earth has in our body. We're mirror that. That's what happens. So we connect to the earth's natural healing rhythm. So remember, every single hour of the day is helping our body align with systems of clearing and regeneration of the body. When we're disconnected to our bodies, this is a mess. Like we don't have the ability to regenerate those parts of the body. We eat when we're not supposed to eat. We feel emotions we're not supposed to emote certain emotions. Sexual desires are out of balance. All of our desires are essentially out of balance, whatever it is, fears, anxieties, our want for pleasure, for nurturing, all of that, right? So we're basically cycling through the patterns that have been reinforced in our DNA. So remember, these patterns are also reinforced in your DNA. So from here, we can begin to heal each one of the organs, and every single hour of the day helps the body regenerate. So when we're in natural order with the earth, these parts of our bodies also come into healing. Okay. All right. So that is what grounding is for, and you don't need to go into a forest because we're kind of in cities right now, so we don't really have the time to do that. So let me go ahead and stop this, and I want to jump into the meditation, guys. I'm just scanning really quickly to see if I miss any questions. I'll answer your questions at the end, okay? So put your questions in capital letters. All right, guys, let's get nice and comfortable. Allow yourself to take a nice deep breath. And exhale. And ground yourself down to the center of the earth. With every breath you take, as you let yourself connect back into your body, go ahead and see your grounding cord connecting your body down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and close your first chakra, second chakra, third chakra. Go ahead and see your bubble around your body. You are in the center of this sphere, and there are no openings above you, below you, right to left, side to side, any part of your sphere. It's completely closed. Any parts that you have a hard time imagining or seeing or visualizing are the areas that are depleting your life force. Expand your heart chakra. Your throat. Your third eye. Go up into the crown. Go ahead and fill your crown with your creative color. You're going to align your higher self with your career, your relationships, family, abundance, health, spiritual work, and your purpose. We're going to start running energy. Go ahead and visualize from the center of the earth, a powerful wave of green life force comes rushing up. As you inhale deeply, go ahead and contract the perineum. Visualize the energy rising up the spine, up into the pineal gland, and you're going to keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth, closing the energy loop. And you'll feel the energy moving around the front of your body and back around again. Go ahead and pull up that green light force up into your body. From source, go ahead and bring that cosmic energy down to the crown of your head, combining with the green earth energy. Go ahead and visualize that rotation growing larger all around you. Go ahead and take 10% of that back down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and take 80% of that combination up your spine from the crown of your head, coating the outside of your body. Go ahead and call back your life force from people, places, and things that no longer serve you back into your body. Go ahead and take that final 10% of green and gold energy into your body now as it goes up the spine, creating a vortex of energy. Go ahead and absorb it into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level of your body. Let's go ahead and go deeper now. I want you to see a room full of karmic contracts. All of the agreements that you've made to learn lessons and experiences in this lifetime as a result of your ancestral lineage. So this is a result of your higher purpose in combination with your ancestral lineage. Go ahead and take a look at this room full of contracts. It could be a room or it could be a stadium. Just notice how big this room is. And you're going to shine your crown light on top of all of these contracts. And go ahead and visualize dissolving them, eliminating them. Okay. Once you cleared all those karmic contracts, go ahead and visualize filling this room with your creative color. Okay, go ahead and allow yourself to begin to see yourself over the past 24 hours and just notice the emotion that most came up for you. As you begin to observe the strongest emotion, be absolutely present with that emotion. And go ahead and begin to observe the emotions that come up. As you name out those emotions, go ahead and select the strongest of these emotions. And you're going to fill your body with that emotion. Be present with that emotion. Observe the emotion in your body. Notice how your body reacts. Notice what muscles are contracting. If your body gets tight, if your belly starts to contract, if your back starts to get tight. Breathing. And allow yourself to notice what do you need in that moment as you begin to take yourself back to the very first time that you felt this emotion, this deep emotion. Take yourself back. Very first time that you felt this emotion. Where are you? Who are you with? The memories, the first thing that comes up is exactly what you need to see. Go ahead and see yourself there. Take a look at yourself. Notice what you're feeling. Notice the emotions. Connect with those emotions and be absolutely present with those emotions in your body. And once again, you're going to be naming out the emotions that come up. As you are here with this emotion, allow yourself to notice what is it that you need in that moment. I want you to speak to your inner child. Observe what that child needs. What are the real needs of this child? The basic needs that are not being met. As you begin to see all the history of the ancestors that have repeated the same program over and over again of not meeting the need of this inner child. You see, your inner child is a mirror, it's a fractal of your ancestral lineage. Begin to observe what does this child need and allow the child to receive everything that it needs. It could be something so simple as being heard or having presence or maybe even having nurturing. So go ahead and allow the child to receive everything that it requires in that moment and allow your body to recognize how it feels to have that need met. Notice how your emotional state changes, how your physical state changes. Very good. Go ahead and observe your ancestral lineage. What do they need in order to no longer repeat this program? To provide them with everything that they require. Notice how they change. With every generation that you begin to allow the access to their needs, it will broaden your perception and essentially healing is available to you because you understand the cause and effect of these emotional states and the impact on yourself. And perhaps erroneous programs and beliefs that were a result of that unmet needs, those unmet needs. But and see all your fractals and this little inner child. I want you to integrate them into one. Breathing deeply, allow yourself to notice what has changed with this part of you. You're going to inhale deeply, taking it back into your body. When you notice what has changed, you will get a lot of profound insights as to deep, sustaining, peaceful states of harmony in yourself. Very good, guys. Let's go ahead and focus on the root chakra now. You're going to open that root chakra back into a balanced state, spin it as fast as possible, eliminating all the blockages of the root body. All around, root body, all around, above, below, side to side. Clear out everything in the root body. Go into the sacral body, same, clearing everything out. In the solar body, clearing everything out, front, back, side to side, top and bottom. In the heart body, clear it out. In the throat, clear it out. In the third eye. In your crown. Very good. And as you allow your body to integrate, go ahead and inhale deeply, taking back your life force into your body. Go ahead and ground yourself into the center of the earth. You're going to activate your 8th, your 9th, 10th, all the way to 24. Okay, illuminate your chakras, connect up to source, bring source into your body. You'll notice it's so much easier for that energy to enter into your body, down through the perineum into the center of the earth, anchor it into the earth. Activate the chakra underneath your body, underneath your feet, and then 3 chakras down into the earth. And just allow yourself to be completely present with this energy, and go ahead and open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, you're going to see your grounding cord, you're going to see your G-Pack, your protection, your alignment, and your co-creation. Okay? You guys did amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such an honor to share with you. And of course, if you have questions, put them in capital letters. I'm going to see really quickly in the chat, see if I missed any questions, but if you could please put your questions in capital letters so it's easy to see. You guys have such beautiful comments, and I don't want to have to be searching for it. Danielle Riverin. Hello, Geraldine from Innu, First Nations of Canada. Wow, that's beautiful. How to manage my reactions when my future spouse turns to his ex to talk for some closure, and I have set already my boundaries and forgiven him. Yeah, so definitely if that's something that's continuing to happen, you probably want to observe the inner child in the partner. Because there's definitely an unmet need, and also rooted in guilt, shame, or unresolved, unfinished emotions internally for him or her. I don't know what your partner is, but whoever your partner is, you need to essentially observe what is the mirror that is being here, and also understand our dynamic with emotionally available, emotionally present dynamics, okay? Because there's actually a similar resonant wounding, and it has to do with the dynamics of intimacy, being okay with intimacy, and accepting our full authenticity, being okay with our authenticity and how we share and exchange that. Okay, so that's something that has to be kind of taken a look at. If those boundaries are being crossed, then there's a little bit deeper issue there, Danielle. So yeah, and then definitely reach out to me privately if you want some more, you know, help with that for maybe a session. But this is a very important moment to take a look at the transactions of information, because if those boundaries are crossed before they are the spouse, essentially there's a deeper underlying thing here, but you know, we participate in that too. So we need to understand what our role is, okay? Do you guys hear like a robotic double voice going on at the same time Geraldine speaks? I don't think I do, but let me know if you do. I don't hear that on my end, but let me know. Uh, very good. Very good. Let's go here. Michael Nelson, opinions on Brill. Yeah, so he was actually in the previous interview I just did. You guys can watch the replay of that. Yeah, so Michael, I strongly suggest for you to check out my 30 Days of Alchemy, and that should answer the majority of your questions about Brill. But I would need a more specific question. My opinion doesn't really matter about Brill. Brill is a very complex and deep topic that has to do with many parts. As you can see, I focus a lot of my work on the transmutation of sexual energy. So that's a large part of my work. Okay. And it's a very important part of our spiritual evolution, especially at this time, learning how to integrate our sexual energy and the development of Brill, which is essentially creative potential. So, we can focus many different ways of developing that, but using our sexual energy is one of the most powerful ones. Okay. All right, guys, thank you. Aquamarine says, I have lots of deep contraction in my thighs and I feel it with compassion, but it still hasn't gone away. How can I heal this? Yeah, so a lot of like stored emotions that even though you feel it with compassion, but you're not feeling the difficult emotion fully. So you need to sit with that difficult emotion that's there in your thighs because you're storing a lot of other people's emotions and also unresolved resentments and this is like resistance of truth and accepting reality as it is right here right now. Okay, so take a look at where you have resistance, and this is where you kind of want to focus on working with that. Okay, you need to be present with the emotion just like we did in this meditation and allow what needs to be released. Rostislav says, question, in my meditations, I keep seeing the earth from above. What could this mean? Yeah, so it means that you're not in your body. This is a very typical side effect of not wanting to be fully in the body. So we need to integrate. You need to come into your body. It's good that you can be up there, for certain techniques and certain work that you're doing, but you absolutely must be in this physical body. And essentially, you'll develop the ability to be up there and here simultaneously. And whenever you need to tune up there, you just switch like gently, like tuning of a radio. You allow yourself to tune into that frequency of information. But it's extremely important for you to be in the body. Now bring yourself in the body, see through your eyes, be in your body and your senses, your five senses. Okay. I heard Steve never gets attention, and I didn't know who Steve. Maybe father of my ex-husband, but that is not my lineage. Are we connected with family of our partners? 100%, 100%. So the question is, what's the repeated pattern? So for us, are we heard? Are we heard? Do we hear ourselves? Do we pay attention? Do we meet our needs deeply? And so take a look at, your partner. What does he need in order to not repeat the same pattern that Steve was repeating, whoever Steve is or whoever he represents, and then see if you're repeating that pattern. We always complement ourselves energetically because we are connected to resonance. Resonance is the core, fundamental, subconscious beliefs are the same. That's what it means. Okay. So resonance is working from the subconscious level. Our core beliefs about being heard or being allowed to be heard or hearing fully, check your relationship with that subconsciously. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Love you so much. And thank you so much in the Zoom for joining me. And for those of you that want to join this weekend, I'm super excited to host that and to see you for the hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapies are usually one of the most powerful events that we have. So I'm excited to guide it and see what you guys get. All my love. See you soon. Bye-bye.